What is going on, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Today we're going over the part 3 of my favorite mini schemes, and today we're jumping into Empty Trio. Before I make anything else, I want to say these schemes can be applied to any playbook, so don't be like, okay, it's in the New Orleans playbook, I can't use this, they don't have the exact plays. My goal is to teach y'all the concepts and principles of running different plays and why you're running them, because ultimately that's going to serve y'all best, right? Copying plays is only going to get you so far, right? For instance, in that first or second video I showed y'all the wow HP swing, that was the jam for a hot minute, but now people know how to cover it and it's not as useful. So here's the audibles I call Hitch Corners, jet touch pass, shallow cross, 4 verticals. We got the Hitch Corners right there at the bottom, jet touch pass at the top, shallow cross at the bottom, 4 verticals in the middle. So let's jump into the Hitch Corners first, and we'll get into a random play, because my goal is to also teach y'all kind of what defense they're running and how to dissect that, I guess. So, see how those cornerbacks are kind of like staggered? The one over Hopkins is at like the 32. Levon Miller's cornerback is at the 35. That makes me think that they're in a cover 2. So what I'm going to be looking for here is Hopkins. And if not, then Levon Miller may open up top, depending on what kind of flat they got out of there, right? Or what kind of cloud they got that left corner on. So let's check that out. Okay, so we had Hopkins in that case. So that tells me they had something like a cloud flat or a soft squat over there, right? Let's try this again. Once again, they're staggered. We're just primarily focusing on the left side of the field. That time I had Y open. Hopkins, that receiver may not have caught that if he wasn't such a good receiver. But once again, they're staggered. Let's try that again. In this play, I might be reading man coverage, which it was, and I had A, Y, and RB open on that play. I just failed to execute. This play, I'm reading zone coverage again, so X should be open. Let's run this a few more times. I'll try and work to the other side of the field now. Now A is going to be open eventually. I threw that poorly though. Threw it too quick. Let's try this again to the right side of the field. RB would be open. Pass leading that out right. Okay, staggered again. This time I'm going to be looking for A, maybe Y or RB. On an A, low ball there. Or at least pass lead kind of backwards to the inside. And we'll try that one more time. Now this definitely looks like man to me. So pretty much all these corners and post routes should be open on this play. Right? You got Levon Miller to the outside. So I hope that helps as far as reading the defense. And on these 5 wide sets, which every playbook has, by the way, these are the best to be able to read what coverage their defense is in and dissect it as so. So that was Hitch Corners. Let's move to jet touch pass. This is a fantastic play. It's a really simple play to run, just because you can kind of count them. Like, all right, you're running the ball to the right. It looks like there's 4 defenders that are off the line on that side, and there's 3 wide receivers. So this may not be the best matchup, especially if they're running man. But let's check it out. Yeah, see, one of them got loose. If you can make one miss, you're in the clear. But let's see what this next coverage brings us. Right? This looks a lot better, okay? They have 2 cornerbacks over the wide receivers over there. If we motion in, right, we should be able to create a lot more space and have a lot less competition over on that side. Couldn't make one miss there. That's okay. 8 yards isn't terrible. But this play definitely has a lot of one-play potential. So whenever you get into this play, very low risk, high reward. It's running the ball. It's running the ball in Madden 20. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Run that one more time. Looking decent over there. 3 off the line that can get there quick. That's a one play. So we make him miss. Yep. All right. Okay, so that's jet touch pass. Now, we're going to get into the shallow cross. Whoops, okay. So shallow cross. Now these plays, if they're in any coverage, except one that has hard flats in it, these drag routes are going to be open. At least for a few yards, okay? So your first instinct, I see the 2 high safeties. The cornerbacks on the edges are very close to the receiver, so I'm reading cover 2. And in some cases, if you have a really quick receiver, you could just put him on a streak and try and throw him to the sideline. So let's go ahead and try that. In that case, I think it was man, but we might be able to fit it in there still. And we did, just because Will Fuller is super quick, 95 speed. Okay. So this is a bit of an odd coverage. I would say this is probably like a cover 6 or something, just because it looks really funky. You may be looking for a blitz like off the edge here, so we might be looking to get the ball off really quick. Okay. Otherwise, it looks like a zone coverage play. So let's look to the left side of the field for Y or X and see how that kind of falls. Y was absolutely butt naked there, and I pressed the wrong button. But, what can you do? Let's try that again. This time I want to look for Y again. Never mind, he got bumped pretty bad. In this case, I would throw that away. Obviously, A was absolutely butt naked. So was B on the outside. This is looking like Y is going to be open there on the outside. So, you have a 5 receiver set, and it's like sometimes the reads can be a little bit hard to make because you're like, there's so many people on the field, but that just gives you more of an opportunity to hit wide receivers. Now, if they're blitzing in this, you want to get out of this and go to one of those other sets that I was showing you earlier, right? See, and if everyone's stalemated like that, you can low ball that in there, which is LT, and then whatever wide receiver, and that severely gets rid of the risk of getting the ball picked off or whatever. But, these are like consistent 5-yard games if you're throwing to the hitches, Try that one more time. Obviously, A is just, from the beginning of that play, was just so open. So there's that. Let's jump into forward verticals real quick. Okay. So I'm reading a cover 2 on this play again. We could look for Hopkins and Fuller for the long ball, or we can look for A and Y over the middle. So in this case, Y, because that was actually man coverage. Try this like 2 more times, see what we can get out of it. This looks like a cover 4, so probably Y is what you're going to be looking for. Maybe you can put Hopkins on a little out route there, because those things absolutely destroy cover 4. And just get a short little gain. 4 quarters again. We got another cover 4. Let's try Y this time. Just wide open in the middle of the field. Alright, and one more time. This is also a cover 2 look. Maybe this is a cover 2 man. And then Y. Just that double move route is pretty deadly there in the middle of the field. So you want to look for that. Just trying to squeeze one more in here. I really wish they got into a cover 3 look, but let's see. Yeah, that Y route, that A route was open up there too. That's alright though. Still got a nice gain. So, I hope this video helped y'all out as far as reading coverages goes. Viewer requested video once again. Yeah, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Catch y'all on the next one. Deuces.